Tom Hopkins International is a name that hundreds of thousands of businesses and millions of salespeople around the world equate with professionalism and competence in training. He is rated America's #1 sales trainer by the media, having personally trained over 2 million sales professionals on 4 continents. His high-energy, dynamic style of delivery keeps his students involved in every moment of his presentation. Students gain a strong comprehension of selling skills that will build stronger customer relationships and close more sales immediately. Tom Hopkins has become a part of the Card Service International team, customizing his proven effective training to your needs. You are about to embark on a course of training unparalleled in our industry, geared 100% to your success with Card Service International.
Card Service International presents The Energy of Sales Success with Tom Hopkins. Session 1, The Ingredients, Understanding the Basics. Acquire the qualities and skills of a sales champion in today's fast-growing bank card industry. Learn the most effective strategies to close your transactions and how to recognize and address the needs and fears of potential buyers. Our mission to provide the very best service in the transaction processing industry today.
Welcome to our training sessions, and let me begin by asking you here with me live a question, as well as you joining us. How is business? Good. Well, I heard some goods, I heard some greats. Well, let me start by letting you know the business you've chosen, there can be a week or two where things may not be great. Isn't that right? Yes. However, you must always be excited, always be enthusiastic, and no one should ever know that things are not great. So what do we say? I'd like you from now on, people, when anyone asks you, how is business? With a lot of enthusiasm, I want you to say, unbelievable, because you see, that covers it either way, doesn't it? So let's start again. How's business?
Unbelievable.
How's some of your merchants?
Unbelievable.
You see, it does cover it either way. And I want you to remember that word, because that word could trigger an awful lot of this entire program. So let me now really start with welcome to the wonderful world of Card Service International, one of the most dynamic and fastest growing companies I have ever been fortunate to work with. You see, you're joining a company that's on the cutting edge of one of the hottest and most profitable industries in the world, the credit and debit card processing industry. So congratulate yourself for choosing this business and this company to build your long-term success and business career. Believe me, Card Service International is a first-class organization, and having known the founders, Chuck and Lisa Bursloff, for many years, I can assure you they have made a commitment to you and your agent to give you the finest tools possible and thus enable you to fulfill your potential and achieve your personal goals. One more thing. The name of this company says it all. Card Service. It's one word because both of those are combined. And believe me, with this company, service comes first with Card Service International. Now let's start off realizing that as in any business, there are fundamentals that you must master. And I'd like to use what I call the sales success triangle. Now, you viewing, you'll see it, and I want to let you know that if you will master what we put on this triangle, you will become a highly effective top income producer. That I can assure you. Now let's start off with the left side of the triangle. You must have product knowledge. You see, people say to me, Tom, how much product knowledge do I need? Well, here's what you have to become. An expert in transaction service processing, ASAP. They must look across the table, the desk, the counter, and that merchant must see an expert. That means you must have technical knowledge. For some of you, it's the process of memorizing the different parts of the technical aspects of the industry. What the MSP is, the ISO, the TSP, the technical jargon. See, your agent will cover this with you, but you have to have that as a foundation before you can take what we're covering here and apply it. You see, this program is primarily going to focus on the right-hand side of that triangle. And this is your people skills. Now, I'd like you here with me to repeat something. I'd like you to join in. And even though you're there watching this via television, we want you to come into this room. We want you to participate. We want you to feel that you are here with us, because believe me, if you will get that attitude, you'll take this material, internalize it, and have a tremendous effect on your overall success. So, I'd like you to repeat after me. You join in. I am first and foremost.
I am first and foremost
In the people business.
in the people business.
Card Service International
Card Service International
is the vehicle I have chosen
is the vehicle I have chosen
to serve merchants with benefits,
to serve merchants with benefits,
and thus I have a right to a great income.
and thus I have a right to a great income.
And this you must start with, the philosophy that you must understand people, because that is the primary business that you're in. And on that right-hand side of the triangle, we are going to totally cover the 7 fundamentals of this business called the people business. Number 1 is prospecting. We're going to show you how to find the right people, show you how to make telephone contact, overcome people that are stalling you, how to go into the merchant properly. And yes, number 2 is so important, how to make a good original contact. We'll show you what to say, how to come across, how to have them relax with you. Then number 3 is an art form called qualification. How to ask the right questions to find out how to fulfill their needs. And number 4, presentation skills. How to develop a dynamic presentation where they have to say yes to your offering. However, they may not always say yes. So we're going to master number 5, which is handling concerns. How to take those stalls that they give you and turn them into closed transactions. And number 6 is the most misunderstood but the highest paid fundamental that we are going to master. And that is called closing the sale, getting the commitment. And after we do the job, we'll move nicely into number 7, which is getting quality referrals from the happy merchants that we serve. And of course, one other thing you must have, a good mental attitude at all times, because if your thinking is not proper, if your emotions are not proper, you don't come across properly. And let's begin by talking about the qualities and characteristics of a Card Service International champion. Now, years ago, when I founded this company over 25 years ago, I had a dream, and that was to teach people that chose the art form of selling to become champions. You can't deny what a champion is. They are the best. And you know, there are a dozen qualities I find, 12 qualities I find in the highest paid people, the champions in this industry. And the first one may be foreign to some of you. So number 1, you must become detail-oriented. You see, the number 1 reason that I find in your industry accounts are not always happy is because people say they'll do something and don't follow up. You must take care of details. You must have legible paperwork. You must make sure that you don't forget to do something you promised to do. So if you're not detail-oriented, one session is in this program for you, which is called time planning and organization. The second thing I find in the great ones, number 2, they act like a business consultant, not a sales representative. Yes, we're sales representatives, and yes, we're proud of it. But we don't come across as the stereotypical image of a salesperson. You see, the average American does not like the field of selling and is afraid of salespeople. So we want to develop a way of coming across that doesn't come across like this image, as I'll be teaching you. You see, one of the number one reason merchants' accounts are canceled is because the merchant has low sales. Number 3 is very important. They deliver every presentation with enthusiasm. You see, enthusiasm is so important in everything we do in the people business. It doesn't matter how you feel today. It doesn't matter if you've said the same words 1,000 times. If you're going to turn pro, you realize that every time you say anything you say, you must say it like it's the first time you've said it with the excitement, because people will say yes to your offering based more on your conviction, your enthusiasm, than they ever will on your technical skills. See, it might be your 100th delivery, but it's the merchant's first time hearing it. Don't you agree, gang? You bet. Number 4, they know how to create a sense of urgency for their merchants. In other words, when they do the presentation, that merchant starts saying, why have I waited so long? Why haven't I done this sooner? And number 5 is so important. They are great educators. They have great listening skills. You see, I totally believe that Card Service International is an educational process where you are teaching people the benefits, opening their minds to the profits you can generate, opening their minds to how you can help them build a business. And what an awesome responsibility that puts on all of us. Isn't that right? I would love you also to start focusing on not what you want. Start focusing on customers' needs. How can you help them today? How can you serve them? You see, the big sale is not always as important to the merchant as it is to you. More importantly, how can we help them increase their effectiveness in serving their clients and thus increase profits to their company? That's what it's all about. Number 6, I see in the top people. They have a higher goal than making a sale. They want to create an asset for the merchant's business. They really delight in walking out having the client say 2 words to them. Now see, I believe that there's a standing ovation that we get in our business. Now many of you have been to the theater, you've been to a wonderful play, and if the people on the stage poured their hearts out, they were professional. Oftentimes the audience stands up and applauds them. Every day we should work for what I call the standing ovation of a sales representative. And you know what that is? It's when they have said, take care of my business, do what you can for me, I'll get started today, and by the way, thank you. When the client, the merchant, thanks you after you've closed the transaction, you've got it. The sales representative's standing ovation. And you should work for those. Number 7 is very important. They are very concerned about their dress, their grooming. They are caring about their hairstyle. They are wanting always to be clean, their clothing clean, their nails clean. And I know a lot of this sounds basic and fundamental, but you have to realize you are judged in the first 10 seconds when they see you. Never forget this. Don't let the messenger get in the way of the message. That's why your dress, your appearance, all of this must be proper for the time and the client you're visiting. Now let's talk about facial hair for a moment, and I'm talking to the men now. It's very important. If you wear facial hair, fine today in business, it's acceptable. But if it's a beard, it should be well groomed. If it's a mustache, it should be trimmed. Don't let it keep touching this bottom lip. They'll be focusing on that and not hearing the message. Isn't that right? All right. Number 8 might, to some of you, be something you may not realize, but the top people I've met, long-term successful people, are very ethical. They know the importance of honesty. They know that integrity is how a business lasts, not for a season, but for a lifetime. And that's so important that every one of you joining card service